Toy Pizza, welcome friends, how are you? We have so much to cover today, including a brief history of aliens and predator collectibles throughout the years.
That's right, we're talking about aliens, we're talking about predators, we're talking about them versus each other, all sorts of things.
Whoever wins, we lose.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking about him too.
That's right. Yeah. So, let's do a little intro music.
And now, Cade, take it away with the news. What do we got today?
Sure. No, we got some cool news today. First up, you've been tuning into the channel. Every Friday this month, we've got Funko Friday.
That's right.
Kicking it off. It's really awesome. But we have some Funko news for you today. And Funko Impossible Bear.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is an exclusive premiere.
Yeah. Very cool. We're shooting here in Frederator Studios. So it's kind of cool to bring this news, combine it and bring it to you.
Well, this would technically be the second Bravest Warriors character in production by Funko Pop Vinyls. Mm-hmm. We previewed Catbug, and now you're seeing Impossible Bear. So hopefully, they're going to hit all the rest of the characters. But I'm really excited for Catbug and Impossible Bear, especially Impossible Bear because he has such a great, range of color.
Yeah.
He's all rainbowed out. I love the voice actor, Michael Leon Woolley, does a great job voicing him.
Great dude.
And, those two, specifically Catbug and Impossible Bear, are perfect for the Pop Vinyl.
Absolutely.
So the picture you're seeing is a comparison in the sizes between Catbug and Impossible Bear, which is really cool that they have a little bit of scale to them. I hope that they do Danny Vasquez next so that we can have John Alejandro on the show.
So cool.
That would be really cool.
We love all the cast, but John that's our guy,
sure, yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait. 2015, these will be in stores.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see more Bravest Warriors, involvement with Funko, let us know in the comments, if you want to see the Bravest Warriors, maybe being Puppy Cat, whatever it is, let us know what you'd be interested in.
I know a guy who can help with that.
And definitely share this picture with any Bravest Warriors fans out there. So.
Yep, totally. Okay, number 2, we've got Mezco Batman, based on the Frank Miller Batman. Really cool. I like this Batman because he has the short horns.
Yeah, I think San Diego this past summer was the first time we got to see this. Mezco kept it very quiet and close to the vest. It's beautiful. I mean, this is, I'm a former Mezco employee, and I think that this could be the greatest thing Mezco's ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this figurine is that it's going to be offered in 2 different colorways. With each figure, if you wanted all the accessories, you'd have to get both, actually.
Well, I think there's quite a few different colorways and quite a few different accessories.
Really?
I saw another version of Batman holding the rifle.
Yes.
It was interesting. I saw some pictures on 4chan and people were arguing over how much these cost and all these things. And the truth is, I think it's about a $60 price point. And what I don't think people realize is licensors can dictate your price point. Mm-hmm. So Warner Brothers and Mezco kind of figured out a way to work together, and that was within this, let's say $60 window, and it was within, a 1/12 scale, so about 6 to 7 inch figure. It's a process called licensing where you you take a toy category and you narrowly define it so that you can play with other partners and have something going on where it doesn't necessarily, or at least on paper, conflict with somebody, like Mattel's deal for toys.
Okay, so, for those that aren't familiar with Mezco, what have they typically done in the past and how does this differ?
Horror toys. They have the Breaking Bad.
Right, the Breaking Bad, correct, yeah.
In my era, we did, I came on board from Hellboy 2, which was really some fantastic collectibles, and we'll have to go over that maybe on Halloween or something.
Maybe, we'll see. We'll think about it.
They also had the Cinema of Fear, which was Freddy, Jason, Leatherface.
Oh, you said that they had the license for Mortal Kombat as well.
That was the one. I think in San Diego this was announced, but it looks like Mezco now have the license for Mortal Kombat, so that should be really good. They do balance articulation really well with sculpt.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about articulation, these two, this Batman figure, he doesn't actually have joints. Is he bendable or posable?
This is like a Hot Toys or a 3A collectible. Okay. It's a articulated muscle body.
Yeah, rubber over the whole.
Real cloth and rubber.
I thought he was like Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
hope not.
number 3 of 4, we've got the NECA Rambo. Sorry, NECA. NECO.
Neko Ramba.
When I read the next news item, it's going to make more sense. Okay, NECA Rambo NES.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think Rambo and also Predator are kind of like close in especially for that era that time of year. And basically, they were hitting these like Nintendo games, and NECA continues to do so and making toys out of it. Here we have the Predator, so now they're making seems like the same treatment for Sylvester Stallone.
I didn't play Rambo on NES.
It was like Super C kind of.
It was one of those games you rented it, you played it for 5 minutes, and you're like, this is so hard to play, and possibly not fully complete in the design phase.
Just like the movie.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about. I remember, like, I need to rent RoboCop because this cover is so nice. And then it's like, I played it, I was like, oh.
There were so many games that were unplayable. They're
Absolutely. E.T.
Yeah, completely impossible.
Back to the Future.
But, look, I love NECA's sort of 8-bit NES throwbacks. I know the RoboCop versus Terminator are coming out pretty soon.
Okay, before we can take a small tangent, RoboCop versus Terminator 1, there isn't really a good ROM that exists for that game for whatever reason, and it always crashes, and they try to port it in different languages, and it just doesn't work. But that game for Genesis, I love that game. Just holding that one button for the machine gun, and it's so sick. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, I couldn't even tell you what RoboCop versus Terminator is about, but it is such a great game. And if you haven't played it, definitely look for it if you have older consoles.
Are you admitting on the air to pirating software?
No, I'm just saying I have read in the past that ROMs don't exist of that. Not that
Don't emulate, kids. It is the path to jail.
Well,
Let's be honest.
All right, speaking of jail, number 4 and last news item on the list, the reason why I pronounced NECA like Neko, we've got Lego Pirates.
That's right. They're making a comeback. So when I was a kid, the Pirates were first introduced, and those are some of the first sets I owned.
Oh, cops and robbers, all that sort of stuff, right?
Huh?
Like pirates, city.
Well, it was like the first time they were doing something different. Lego for years and years had space, and they had knights, and they had city.
It was very broad. I'm saying like it was very broad stuff. It wasn't like licenses.
Exactly. So the Pirates came along. This would be late 80s, mid to late 80s. And, it was like a breath of fresh air. Salty sea air.
There you go.
But I love them, and I would later repurpose the, it was Pirates versus Imperials, so it was kind of stuffy English Marines.
Okay.
And I would repurpose those English guys as Colonial Marines to pit against my alien figures, which we'll be covering in just a few minutes. I'm happy Lego Pirates are back, and I will purchase them and build them. Cool. You like building toys, don't you?
Not on camera. Please refer to any of our build episodes, like
at your own leisure. Right?
Call of Duty Mega Bloks.
Yeah, you had an epic meltdown when we were trying to build Mega Bloks Call of Duty.
Both Minecraft and Mega Bloks Call of Duty. If you have a set amount of pieces in the kit that you come with, one, make sure you have all the pieces. Maybe you should count them first. And 2, don't build them with other people because then you just end up taking pieces. Let's move on to our feature.
Well, I do have one question before we wrap up the new segment. If you want to see some building episodes, what kind of stuff would you want to see us build, right?
Yeah.
We could potentially start a Let's Build series on the channel, only if the demand is there. We've got our hands full with unboxings. We've got Funko Fridays. We're really busy here on the channel trying to get a lot of content out there. But, if we get some free time, if Let's Build.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I love building Lego. It is a zen exercise for me. It's something I can just unplug and do tactically.
It could be therapeutic, depending on
Not if you step on them.
Okay, well, okay.
Nude. Aliens and Predator and Aliens versus Predator and all the greatness that has come.
So what do you want to start off with? You want to go through the ages, through the earliest first, or?
Sure.
That's good, yeah.
We can start with Kenner. And, Kenner, it's very interesting, and there's very little sort of information about this, but there was an Aliens cartoon.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing it. Like,
Exactly.
I don't either.
No, nobody does. It was in the same mold as sort of, taking Rambo and making it into a kids program.
Swamp Thing?
Taking Swamp Thing.
Classic Avenger?
taking Toxic Avenger. They did the same process here. And the problem is they tooled up all of these action figures. The premise also was that the original crew of the Sulaco survived. So Drake didn't die.
Okay.
Hicks survived. Ripley, like...
So like that just never happened?
Well, they survived, but they had cybernetic enhancements to repair the damage. Although they are clearly murdered in Aliens.
So you watched the show?
No, I've just kind of put bits and pieces together about it.
So what did that mean for the toys?
So Kenner tooled all this stuff. The cartoon never came out, and eventually they released them. So, you'll see, Apone has a cybernetic arm. They later reused pieces of that mold for a Hudson, also a cybernetic arm.
Okay.
It's really fascinating. But KB eventually started closing out a lot of these toys. I remember they were 3 for $5.
KB Toys?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Toy Works back in the day.
Okay.
Rest in peace to both of those. So, they're the coolest ones, and the single figure that I give the highest esteemed marks to is the Vasquez. And this one in particular is a re-release that happened much later on at KB and was closed out. They sort of repainted these with more realistic colors. The original Vasquez was only released in Europe, and it had bright neon colors. Part of the reason I like Vasquez too is because they kind of came with goofy weapons, and she's the only one that has a pulse rifle that looks like the one in the movie.
Yeah? I mean, it's a huge gun.
That's a big gun.
It's relatively in scale, though.
It's so big, though.
Well, when you're putting all that firepower into one carbine, it's going to be bulky.
That's true.
So, anything else about this line? Do you have anything else from these guys? Or?
Well, she came in a 2-pack with this repaint of the Night Cougar alien.
So, this is actually really interesting because I only saw the movies. I didn't see the cartoon series. And my friend and I, we just went, bonkers over these Predators and Aliens.
Yeah.
So we had all of these, it's around the same time as, Jurassic Park almost.
Yeah.
And just, anything that, a lot of the aliens were on all fours. There's an orange one.
Right.
And, this one has a shooting mechanism, a spring-loaded thing on its back.
He's cool.
And, it's really awesome. And it's very...
Wow.
It's very nostalgic.
It's really
for me.
springy.
Yeah.
This one they toned down the neon colors a bit and gave it something that reflects the on-screen version a little more.
Right.
And I dig it big time. And you would often pit these against the Predators.
Yes. So this guy, I remember.
Cracked tusk.
Because he has a cracked tusk. I had him, and very similar to this one, I had another one that was glow in the dark. And I bring him up because I used to display all my toys just before I went to sleep, and they were just on a shelf of mine. And, I would swear that when you were about to go to sleep, that toy would move. And it would just I would see him move. It would literally check around.
Really?
And then I would turn on the lights. I'm okay, he's not moving. And specifically that Predator toy, I was just that toy is really cool because he's alive. I wasn't scared of him. Maybe initially I was.
He's haunted.
But, yeah, I was just dude, that's really sick. So...
So this one's clear because of his camouflage?
So I recently picked this up. I found 2 of them in package. And Jesse, I was oh, do you want one? He's I already have 2. So that's fine. I never saw him before. And I was oh, he's Kenner. And I was actually inquiring with the sales associate at my local comic book shop. And I was oh, where's he from? He's oh, he's a mail away.
Right.
So basically, he was not available in stores. He didn't come with a cardstock or anything. And he literally is just sealed in a plastic bag with... paper instructions and assembling pieces. I love this figure a lot because he's clear, and he does come with a black piece of chest armor that I usually just don't include because it's
it gives away the disguise.
Yeah, really.
The chrome pieces are awesome. Chrome and camo kind of go together very well.
Yeah,
and that figure is really sick. But unfortunately, with that one, this one can stand pretty well, but. For whatever that one, the weight, this,
he's kind of up on his tippy toes and falls over easily.
Yeah, 90s, it was we always had to pose your toys with their legs far apart. Even, this figure too. And that one just falls under its weight, The legs start...
so big, yeah.
Yeah, and he just falls
heavy.
forward.
It's interesting that this was a mail away because these are prolific. you can get a hold of these very easy, very cheaply.
Oh, really?
And they're always like, whenever you see a lot of loose Aliens or Predators figures, there's usually one or two.
Really?
So
That's so funny.
I imagine they probably made more of these than the actual line.
Oh man,
Wow.
that's
No,
really
I don't know
funny.
if that's true.
Well, it's like
I'm
literally,
goofing on you.
literally like I had these as a kid, and I had no desire to recollect them or anything like that. But then I saw him, and I was like, oh my god, I never had that, I never saw it.
You love it. Give me two.
Yeah, I bought two, and they're on my shelf. So
No, he's really, really awesome. But I don't think you answered my question. He's clear because it's camouflage, right?
correct.
Oh, okay. You didn't answer, so I wasn't sure.
And a little fun fact for everybody: the original Predator was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No,
That's not true.
That's totally true.
What?
Yep.
Is that his laugh at the end?
No.
Okay.
He
Did all
there's
the
a couple.
stunts?
There's a couple conflicting stories, but he either got hurt or he quit. And at the same time, Stan Winston was redesigning the look of the Predator.
Okay.
So
Some
he
shots at Sam.
exited the film, and there were
That's
other.
interesting.
So any of the roundhouse kicks, that's probably That's Jean-Claude.
Well, when the Predator is doing a split between two chairs,
Right.
that's
okay.
Jean-Claude.
That's totally him.
Yeah.
No, this figure's awesome. Clear toys are something you love. Maybe
Absolutely.
it's something we should cover on the show.
Maybe next week people could tune in and see
Maybe.
the top 10 clear toys of all time.
Maybe. We'll think about it. Yeah,
We'll think about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. All right, cool.
Fair
Moving
enough.
on.
Those are
moving
all
on.
the Kenner toys that we have here. Do you want to go to NECA?
Yeah, the most... Look, a lot of people have had the Alien and the Predator license over the years, but arguably the most notable is NECA and what they've managed to do.
Sure.
And, I think in a previous episode I answered one of my favorite toys from childhood, and it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger from the movie Commando.
Right.
And I took that thing everywhere, and I would actually redress him to look like how he looked in Predator.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there wasn't a Predator action figure on the market. So I think about a year ago, NECA released, they got, Arnold's likeness, and they started
Perfect.
releasing Major Dutch Schaefer from Predator.
Yeah, and then also they have a thermal version of Arnold, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. They've done a lot of great variants of him. They have him
That's
covered
cool.
in mud with a
Yeah.
bow and
Yeah.
arrow.
A large one that's
Yeah.
like...
It's cool. Sorry, small tangent,
Sure,
segue type deal. NECA, they do the NES colorways. Like, is that something they like to explore a lot of? Like, a lot of colorways, a lot of variants?
Well, I think, look, these tools are super expensive. This is, for this figure alone, it's probably 10 to 15 grand
Right.
to manufacture this. So, you want to squeeze as many different color styles and variants
Absolutely,
as
yeah.
you can out of that mold.
Mhm.
And NECA do a great job because they find things like this
Right.
that is a very creative and artistic
Sure.
take on it.
Like, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I just love the purple and the blue. It reminds me of the Jason. I keep talking about the Jason. But
Yeah.
I, didn't even play Predator. But when I saw images of this, I was
Really
like,
good, yeah.
I need this.
Yeah.
This is a great Predator. Like, I seen so many NECA Predators. I had the opportunity to buy the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and I passed on it. But this one was a must-buy, and he runs you about $25. That's like the going price, like even in Toys R Us. And, he's sick. And honestly, I thought he was a lot bigger compared to, like, look at that. I guess
Right.
that's in scale.
That's the scale,
That's
for
totally
sure.
in scale, yeah.
And, his blades on his wrists, they're retractable.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really sick.
Anytime.
Now, the thing about the movie is it wasn't the Predator featured in it. Like, isn't he just like a very like unskilled Predator, like versus all the other Predators in the universe? Like, he was like a baby Predator, like hunting as a test.
There may be something in like the canon that he was sort of like a rogue teenager.
Yeah,
Like Earth was
mad at his mom.
a protected sanctuary that they weren't supposed. Well, but that doesn't make sense because the lady they rescue, Maria, I think, she talked about how the Predators would come when she was a girl, and they had her village sort of had myths about these devils.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all pretty cloudy, especially with the merge of Alien vs Predator.
Well, I would say though, Predator is such a solid film; it still holds up to this day, and Shane Black is amazing in it. The
Okay.
director of Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually knew that.
I had to say, growing up on watching the film, I missed all like the gore, and some of Arnold's famous lines come from that, like "you son of a," whatever.
Right.
But seeing both the first one and the second one, especially the second one, and I had this obsession both with Terminator 1 and Predator 2 of like self repair, like Terminator like fixing his eye, and like Predator, bleeding green blood. It's like so sick.
And that's where you got the idea for body modification, and you put the little magnets in your fingers.
That's right.
Yeah, so weird, but it works.
Interesting.
So, going off of that, like, if you had to recommend, because I imagine some of our audience, probably didn't come from this time, they're a little bit younger, whatever it is.
I'm old, I get it.
Including me, maybe. Should they start off watching Predator 1? Should they start
Of course!
Yes.
Should they start with Alien 1? What should they do?
Well, okay, here's what you do. Here's the viewing order.
Yes, I knew you would know.
You have to watch Alien, although for a kid nowadays it will bore you to tears. That's the point of the movie.
Yes.
It's supposed to bore you to tears. It's going to lull you into a submissive state so that when the action starts happening, it is genuinely terrifying.
It's suspenseful.
Then you're going to watch Aliens, which is arguably better than Alien.
And that's the one by James Cameron.
Correct. It's a different type of movie, but it's an amazing movie, and it really, everybody has stolen from Aliens the idea of a ragtag military group. They did it so well there, and there's such great characters that you care about in a short amount of time, and everybody's sort of cribbed from that, including James Cameron himself when it came to Avatar.
Avatar, sure. That's what
then I would watch Predator, and then I would watch Alien 3 with the understanding it's not perfect, and then I would
venture.
And then I would not watch any of the other films.
Really? Not Alien vs. Predator or Alien vs. Predator 2?
No, I thought those are horrible films.
Wow.
Okay, well, this is where I come in. Jesse's right about the order. Alien vs. Predator, if you want to see a funny film, it's interesting how they bring it together, because you were telling me how it's based off the graphic novel, loosely.
Well, I had this novel, and it was Aliens vs. Predator, and it was, mid-90s. I think it was a novelization of Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was, it starred, oh God, I can't remember, Makiko Noguchi, who, and I want to go tangent on this in a couple minutes, who appeared in the Aliens vs. Predator arcade game that Capcom made.
Okay.
Sidebar that for now. I had the novel, and the novel was amazing. It took place on this planet that was kind of like Jurassic Park, that the predators found and then started killing all the animals in. So it was humans versus predators versus aliens. Makiko Noguchi sort of wins the trust of the predators and leaves and travels with them and gets integrated into the tribe. So
Avatar.
So the first AVP movie stole a lot of I wouldn't say steal, but they were inspired by a lot of themes and action sequences that happened in that book, but they sort of did it in a very cheap, bare bones budget.
So if you like cheese, the main character and the predator are somewhat like on a sled going up a tunneled chute. In front of a ball of fire, and they make it out okay. The predator teaches.
What does this have to do with dairy products?
Yeah,
dairy products.
You love cheese.
Okay, well,
if you love cheese, the predator would be, a Asiago.
Okay. No, but then there's so many great moments. Like the predator teaches the main character
Just watch the movie.
Yeah, just watch the movie.
Just stop telling them
Watch
parts.
the movie, you dummy.
Yeah.
You ding dong.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
More about the toys.
Yes.
More about Nicky's cheese analogies.
Okay, but this Predator by NECA, the NES variant colorway, it's awesome. The purple and blue is just mixed so well, and it complements the shading. And NECA does a great job using these softer pieces, for his hair and these
skirt.
His skirt, and even just his weapons, like I said, the double blade on his wrist, and just the points of articulation are awesome.
Yep.
And just if you've ever held a NECA figure, you can expect the same kind of quality. And just what's really cool is that he has all these tubes in his armor that would just pop out and stuff like that. And it's really, really awesome. This can come off if you wanted to. And yeah, he's really awesome. Out of all the Predators, this is my favorite one from NECA.
It's a great figure. Hopefully, they will tackle what I consider to be the greatest thing in Alien and Predator mythos.
Mm-hmm.
The Alien vs. Predator Capcom arcade game.
Okay.
Did you guys ever play that?
No, I did not. I'm
It
so
was
sorry.
4 players.
Okay.
You could play Major Dutch Schaefer with a robot arm.
Okay.
Okay.
Makiko Noguchi.
Wait, I think I might have. Is
You
that the
have-
one Jacob Wilkes went crazy
It's-
about?
Yes.
Okay,
Seriously.
okay, yes. Then I have played it. Yes, it is. It's a beat 'em up.
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Final Fight. You have 4
Yes,
players.
correct.
There's 2 predators you can be, and they have amazing, shoulder cannons.
They're cool, and they have like these projectile knives.
And it's all kind of in the art style of Capcom.
Yeah.
You know, I suspect Bengus, the famous internal artist they had, did a lot of the character designs.
Mm-hmm.
It is the greatest game in the world, and I think that
Okay, that's
You and Jacob
I'll
Wilkes.
I think that version of Dutch Schaefer is probably the single most drawn character in all of my middle school and high school notebooks.
That's
I would
really
just
funny, actually.
draw him over and over again. Maybe I'll lend you some artwork so you can see on manila paper.
Oh, thank you for that.
If you can find it, I would love to feature it.
All right, fair
All right,
enough.
so that's NECA. Definitely check them out because there's tons of Predators and tons of aliens to choose from.
Look, it's a great solid Predator.
Yep.
It's not my favorite modern day Predator.
So definitely check it out because there's
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. They also offer at Toys R Us exclusives like 2-packs. You know, you can buy a Predator with Arnold. You can buy an Alien, and also they have some other figures from the Prometheus.
Let me try the segue I just tried 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
It's a good solid Predator. It's not my favorite modern day Predator. My favorite modern day
Oh,
Predator
okay.
would be this one by
Wolf-
Tamashii.
Wolf
right.
Predator.
Wolf Predator.
I didn't know you were going for a segue there.
I had no idea. I
I
apologize.
just sold.
We'll have a little flashing light whenever one of us is going to segue. We'll just step on a pedal and.
Oh, that'd be good, yeah.
So in the SH Monster Arts line,
Yes.
they started doing.
I love
Aliens
this
and
figure
Predator.
so much. It's
Yeah.
so good.
This is an Alien versus Predator line, actually.
That's right, and I love it. Even though
Okay.
all the same,
Yeah.
No, this is great.
it's just an amazing figure, and it sort of. It has the right bulk to it,
Yes.
and the right
But
weight.
it's still
Yes.
like articulate, and you can
Yeah.
still get a lot of poses out of this thing. But you're totally right about the bulk. Like he just feels like he's really strong.
Sure,
One thing
like
that,
me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, the one thing that's great about that particular Predator, he comes with both the mask and the unmasked heads, and great expression. Some people will argue that Predator is literally one of the best monster faces.
Sure.
The mouth is very very creepy, and especially when he's laughing at the end of the Predator.
Why do you spoil things for people?
Predator is laughing at the end of the movie. That's
He
a spoiler.
He finds a sense of humor. That's
Yeah.
his character arc.
Yeah. He read something on Twitter. So, yeah, no, he's awesome.
Yeah, he comes with this great whip.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
He's got the shoulder cannon.
Wow.
What I believe to be some kind of med kit.
How recent is this?
This is just last year. This
Yeah,
year.
it's that recent, right? Yeah.
Check the box.
What's check the box?
It's all in moon speak.
It's
I
within
don't
a year or
understand.
two. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely most recent. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely alongside Predator, Tamashii does a great job with the aliens.
Alien,
Like,
right.
look at this. It has the famous, see-through headpiece with the skull inside, but the tail, the articulation on the tail is so sick. Like,
It's incredible, yeah.
it's like a spine almost. It has different pieces like vertebrae, and you can twist it and bend it.
Yep.
Like so, and they really nailed the the sculpt, because literally you have all these fine crevices and detailing in the alien, all these ridges for his bones or his shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have to pick, you got to go with Big Chap from the original Alien.
Yeah.
There's a couple different alien styles that Tamashii does in the Monster Art line, but I say go Big Chap.
Big Chap is the one that's in Alien?
Yeah.
He's the one that's sleeping in the wall?
Yes, he's very shreepy.
He takes a quick nap. Nappy.
Well, at the end. Well, never mind.
Well, why don't you not spoil
That's
it?
what
Oh,
I
yeah,
did.
Spoiler alert! It's
I didn't.
35 years old.
I know,
At the
I
end of
know.
Alien, he also laughs. And
Well, it's
he
saying
cries.
because, if our younger audience does go back and watch, I would hate to be like, oh, at the end this happens. It's like, oh, well, I'm not going to go watch
Just
now.
go on YouTube and just search best moments from Alien.
That's fair.
No, you got to watch it. It's great.
Yeah, I really do appreciate Ridley Scott. I really liked Prometheus as well.
Never saw it.
Okay, Prometheus.
Okay, Prometheus.
I thought it was.
It has problems.
It has problems. And mostly, it's sort of this story and this sort of character motivation and things like that. I thought it was visually beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a good film to see I think it was released in 3D. I just remember that map room scene being very
cool.
Very cool. The engineers are amazing.
Yeah.
Such a great design. The NECA toy of the engineer is really cool too, and they've done lots of different versions of that. And I will give Prometheus props because there's a emergency operation scene, and it is squirm-inducing.
Oh, that is so good. But it reminds me of a Tim and Eric sketch, which is weird. But I don't want to go too much into it. But I can tell you afterwards. Really funny. But no, it's really awesome. And if you rewatch Alien, to see like when they explore the room and it's just like that's an engineer possibly and it's somewhat links those two movies together. It's like loose. It's not like 100% complete, but yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to Prometheus 2 and Noomi Rapace traveling the galaxy with the head of Michael Fassbender. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Really?
And rest in peace, H.R. Geiger.
Yeah. And Joan Rivers died.
Okay.
All right.
So that's Tamashii.
Tamashii was great. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, and if you were looking for something smaller or a lower price point, we have some other figures for you from Super 7.
I wouldn't say lower price point. So, we covered before that at San Diego Comic-Con they did the blind eggs. And, obviously, look, we cannot make it any more clear that we're huge supporters of the Reaction line.
Right.
It's almost as if they're sponsoring us or something.
Check out Funko Fridays, only on Fridays here at Toy Pizza.
The egg idea was amazing with all the beautiful variant figures.
Can I open this?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
It smells like eggs.
Really? No, it doesn't.
It's a great line through and through.
That is so sick.
Okay. It's pretty sick.
What is it?
Okay, no, it's Ripley, but clear. And
cool.
For San Diego Comic Con, they had all these variants. So Ripley is clear. You have a xenomorph right here, and he's speckled and
space glitter.
Space glitter. That is so sick. And what are you gonna expect from?
Oh, there you go, another one.
Oh,
with that's brutal.
That's Ash, who was played by John Hurt.
Right,
and he is hurt. Clearly,
obviously,
as a chest burster.
We definitely featured a few of these figures in our San Diego Comic-Con episode.
That's awesome.
And with the playset, but the one great thing about specifically the xenomorph is the tongue comes out at the top, so you can adjust that, just like
Nicky,
so.
I tell you what, I would trade the clear Ripley if you got something good.
I'm much more interested in the space spec. Okay.
Okay.
And then got her in the.
So you got pretty much every space speckled variant.
Yep.
Except for clear Ripley.
Yep.
That's really cool.
They're beautiful figures.
I will trade you.
No.
I was just saying, no, just the hand.
I'll trade you the hand.
Look, I don't collect anything 6 or 7 inch unless it's the Funko Game of Thrones 6-inch action figure line.
Okay.
That's fair.
Fine. I'll persuade you some other way.
These are also double use. You can eat your
double
yogurt.
Use?
Yeah, eat your yogurt. Keep your grain. You want a little dried oatmeal in this portion.
Yes.
Yogurt here.
I can see that.
Mix it up.
Or cocktail.
Parfait.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
That is smart.
Yeah.
I like that.
They also did this tiny little vinyl figure
Super 7
with Secret Base out of Japan. And I don't think you've seen this yet, but it's really cool.
Let's check it out. Oh,
it's like a mini Sofubi.
He's kind of cute.
Yeah, so he has kind of like the same logo on the box, except it has like Japanese characters.
Yeah.
But he's really cute. He looks a little more brolic. Like he looks like the guy that's been working out all day.
Yeah.
Or like a small child that's been working out all day.
Brolic?
Brolic.
Is that a?
No, that is a word. Look it up.
Is that a Dragon Ball Z character?
No, it's Broly.
Broly is, and I think that's where it comes from, maybe.
Okay. So, price of everything, you can find this Secret Base Super 7 guy for about $50. You can find the Reaction line for about $10, including Xenomorph, Ripley, and Ash, and more. This NECA Predator. It goes for $25, but you can find any of the NECA aliens for about $20, maybe even less.
Oh my God! I called Kane Ash earlier. That is inexcusable.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
At least you caught yourself.
The guy with the chest burster is Kane.
I don't know.
Ash is the android.
Yes.
Man.
It's easily confused, though.
It's a dark day for me.
Disapproval.
Well,
Need some vodka.
he might not be an android. We don't know. Spoiler. Anyway, and then you can find the SH Monster Arts line. You can find Big Chap, Wolf Predator, and even a regular alien xenomorph for about $40 to $60, I would say, depending on where you go. And any of the Kenner stuff you're going to find loose in garage sales or eBay.
Yeah, you know, the Kenner alien line, it's very affordable right now. You know, there's some good deals to be had in loose lots. And
if you're looking for a clear Predator, we have 4.
collectively we have about 4. We're going to start our own big cartel shop.
All right.
Awesome. So anything else you guys want to say? Last minute thoughts about Alien vs. Predator?
No, I'm ready to wind down with a little
Q&A.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Cool.
Q&A. I had a thought real
Okay.
quick before Q&A,
Let's
because
hear it.
we have a few people who have asked,
Mm-hmm.
how am I supposed to watch all this toy pizza? And that is the beauty of these long-form podcasts. They're not meant to be consumed in one sitting, much like an entire pizza pie.
But I do.
Yes.
Well, you're an anomaly.
Well,
You don't count.
Correct.
So, like ordering a pizza,
Mhm.
you eat a couple slices, you watch a couple segments,
Yeah.
you go on, you do your day, you get hunger again, come back,
Come back, yeah.
watch a little more.
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
That's
No.
the beauty of YouTube.
Yes.
You don't have to pig out.
Now, if you do want to, it's totally acceptable.
You can also pig out.
But yeah, pause, come back.
or,
Pause,
you know,
come
just
back.
like pizza, just eat it with your ears and go to the iTunes store.
It's not
that too.
not actually.
That's not a thing?
It's not
Oh,
a
go.
way to
You
do
can't-
that.
You can't really eat.
You will get in trouble.
You will get an ear infection.
That is bad.
That is
You're
bad.
Bad.
Okay.
bad.
Q&A!
Q&A.
Q&A. Okay, cool. So each week we like to put a post on Instagram, you know, and scroll the comments from the previous episode and to ask you guys to give us some questions. Ask us anything, right? So this week we've got 3 solid questions. The first one's coming in from Space Alien Hula Bunny Chronicles.
This is on YouTube, so again, you can always leave us a comment on YouTube or send us an email at toypizzamail@gmail.com.
Yep.
And what did he ask us?
On Instagram. Yeah.
We don't know if it's a guy or girl.
Correct. Yeah. We just know Space Alien Hula Bunny Chronicles.
That's gender neutral.
It could be more than one person.
Could be.
Correct. They ask, who do you want to be in the reaction line, which we've talked a lot about.
What is the reaction like?
For me, The Office or Office Space, just any show or movie about people who work in an office, I guess.
It's not really, the second part's not a question, but okay.
Well,
I've been thinking about this all day.
I was thinking about it all day. I haven't.
Did you already
posted
see
it.
what?
No,
Don't look
I
what wrote.
didn't look at. No, I have some stuff written down, but
Okay.
it's all up here.
okay.
I'll hear you.
Here's my
you go
number
first.
1 pick.
Okay.
Twin Peaks.
Oh, come
Oh,
on! I wrote
my
that
God.
down. I want to
I
get
got
my.
it written right here.
It's-
No,
Twin Peaks. Agent Dale Cooper, come
That's
on.
it. That's all you need.
No.
No.
You
okay,
need
no.
Harry S. Truman.
No, you need.
You're a big Twin Peaks fan?
No, I don't know.
Laura
Sorry.
Palmer
Sorry.
wrapped in plastic,
No.
2 alternate versions like Laura's cousin.
It's very,
You know,
that's, no.
the cardstock would be so sick. You had the black and white lines in the background.
Like plastic wrap.
Yeah, it would be so sick. But it's so funny that you said because I wrote it down too. So
Are we going
Wow.
to find out what happened to Agent Dale
Is it that
Cooper?
old?
It's 25 years
yeah,
old.
it's 25 years old.
Gosh,
But
I
the
thought it was
unfortunate
recent.
thing, again, reaction line talking specifically. I would love to see a Bob figure, but unfortunately, that actor has passed.
Oh.
Give me Leland Palmer, Ray
Oh,
Weiss.
come on. Ray Wise is...
Forget it.
He is
Awesome.
a gentleman and a scholar.
Forget it.
I saw him on the escalator at San Diego Comic-Con. We
Oh, that's
passed.
funny.
We, went like this, and I was like, that guy looks familiar, and he just gave me this debonair, intercontinental
Oh,
little
yeah.
nod. That guy's
That's
A-OK. And he was in the Tim and Eric video for Beach House's
Eric Wareham directed Beach Has Wishes. And
Wishes. Amazing song.
He's
I
in a
wake up to
movie.
that song in the morning, and I get really pumped.
He's
And
in several-
I kick towels and yell at birds.
Okay.
Then Ray Weiss is great. If that happened to me on an escalator, I could die happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, Twin Peaks. So if you're gonna say Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
the next thing that I was thinking about was I completely forgot. I mean, X
Cade,
Files.
what's your pick for the line you don't collect?
I've got a couple. I think Doctor Who would be really awesome because I think there's so many characters you
Sure.
can get in there. You've got the Cybermen, you've got the Weeping Angels, you've got the Daleks. There's lots of potential like alien kind
That's
of
got to
stuff.
be on the way, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be great. I would totally love Doctor Who. Also, if we're going for like weird shows that kind of died off, Heroes. I think
Heroes.
Heroes would be sweet. I think.
Going back to Mezco, that was also a brand that we had just started when I
Mm-hmm.
worked there, and
It's coming back too. The show.
it's coming. Look, Heroes Season 1 was amazing.
Great. Very, very good.
They did not maintain
The budget.
The momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it really died off really quick, but you know, think of Siler. Like in the first
No.
series,
He's so good. The whole first
he was
season
amazing.
is really good. I recently
Yeah.
rewatched it. It's really good.
It's unfortunate that we sort of built the toy line based on the first series, sold it in, and then the second series came on air.
It's like,
And
it's about it's the writer strike. Totally blew it up.
yeah, I'm gonna have to. I should pull some of my old hero samples and bring them on the
That'd
show.
be great.
one day.
So we should do an episode on just samples that you have.
We should just do an episode.
Oh,
in
for it.
general.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw one more reaction out there. Now I've heard rumors that they are doing classic Star Trek,
Okay.
which is amazing. I can't wait to own these.
Mm-hmm.
But I would beg that they get to TNG Next Generation.
Okay.
Because
Obviously.
you know actually we covered Star Trek in the 3 3/4 inch
We
scale
did.
throughout the
Yes,
years.
we did. So we're a little educated.
You can take a peek at that, not through annotation. Read the link in the description.
Yes.
And you know, since Galoob did that line, there has not been 3 3/4 inch Next Generation action figures, and I desperately need them.
I remembered what I wrote down without getting up. I don't want to interrupt anything.
Good
So
for you.
real quick,
Good for you.
I thinking about video games. I would like to see Street Fighter. That'd be cool.
Oh,
Like a Ryu,
man.
a Ken.
That would be great.
Right?
Yeah, no, that would be
Well,
awesome. I would
Think
be
that would
totally into
fit.
I think there's a problem with that though. You know,
Yeah.
reaction sort of works for normal people. You know,
Okay,
very
sure.
people in plain clothes, people that are not sort of.
Right. Uh-huh.
You know, it's something about the line that it lends itself well to boring, normal human beings. Street Fighter is very energetic, and you
Yeah.
want to pose them and have
That's true.
articulation.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can see
think
that.
it's a good fit.
I could see that.
And then the last one that I had was just two.
Mortal Kombat.
No, the last two. It wasn't like a series or a line. Like I don't know how they would string these guys together. Maybe just a general movie line. I would like to see V from Vendetta.
Yeah.
And also Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman would be great.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Right? I mean, you couldn't do Conky, you couldn't do Magic Screen. It
No.
would
Right,
make sense.
right.
But Pee Wee Herman, maybe Cowboy Curtis. That would be cool. I definitely would like a Pee Wee action figure in this scale.
So we love reaction.
We
Yes.
do.
We definitely do. And at this rate, we're definitely going to have like a playlist on the friggin' channel with
Just
reaction
all
stuff.
yeah.
So I'm totally
true.
for that, though. All right, let's go ahead and get these second questions knocked out.
Oh, we have more questions.
Exactly.
What's your favorite reaction line?
So
Well-
let's try not to spend too much time on these. Okay, so evil_hero wants to know: are you guys ever going to try your hand at making your own custom blank toys like Bear Brick or Kid Robot? It's an interesting idea. Not an easy idea, I don't think.
I think the hardest thing about that is figuring out a mold
Correct.
that hasn't been like close to another mold. Like,
and
you know,
has mass appeal.
correct. Like there's pop vinyls, there's Bear Bricks, there's
Yeah.
Dunnies, and you know,
I
that's hard.
Yes.
I'm not interested.
Right.
I have a hard time imagining anything new to offer this sort of blank body world out there. It's been done. You know,
It has been
everybody's
done. Yeah.
every single artist you can think of that's alive
Yep.
has done a Dunny or has done, you know, a
Yeah.
Bear Brick. What is there left to do?
Totally.
I don't see any way to innovate. So it doesn't hold my interest.
I think I agree with that.
The same.
But with that being said, if we ever like wake up one morning, we're just like, of course, right?
Right.
You know, but you never know.
Now, granted, we will probably sell out and you know, be doing blind bag Knights of the Slice and having
Granted.
different artist
We
editions
might
in no
sell out.
time. That could very well happen. So
We'll find out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Maddie Sin B would like to know if you could make a life-size toy of anything, what would it be? Damn, I was supposed to think about this.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay.
That's creepy.
No, I thought about this and just like how I know in Japan they constructed a Gundam. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
Give
that's
me a
not
Titan.
a toy.
Oh.
Give me a.
It doesn't count.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
from Titanfall.
Yeah. That would be
No.
great.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Anything that's like a ridiculous scale, like that would be so.
You don't
awesome.
want something like really cool, like in
Claptrap.
your room?
You made
Or-
Claptrap like this
Claptrap
big.
would be
Claptrap
great.
would be
Yeah.
cool.
I recently saw that someone made like an actual Wally. It was
Ah.
really, really good. I wish I kind of showed you guys the video beforehand. It's
Wally
really
Pfister, the
no,
guy who
it's
directed.
Wally from Pixar. Like it's really great.
You know, if I could do something life size, I would. I remember. Okay, so I was a huge Aliens fan. I had the VHS. I taped off the TV,
Sure.
but I'd never seen Alien.
Okay.
and I went to Universal Studios, and they had this suit, the sort of space suit that Mobius designed for the Alien film, and I was like, what is that from? And I went, immediately after that and watched Alien, and it warped my mind and scared the hell out of me. So I think, like, having this is just one of the most perfect designs in movie history, and having a 1-to-1 scale of this would be pretty
cool.
excellent.
Just to have like maybe in the corner as like a nice little piece.
And when your parents are yelling at you, you just hop in the suit, you have your macaroni and cheese, and you say, "Hey, it's goldfish time."
Okay.
Right?
I actually just remembered what mine was, and it's actually super lame, but I don't care. I'm just throwing that out there. So there was a movie that came out with Robin Williams, R.I.P. Flubber, right?
Okay.
And, first of all, I was always disappointed that Flubber didn't exist. Right?
Yeah.
It was just like some weird putty. I was like so
slime,
upset because Flubber was amazing. Like in the movies, like brum, brum. Okay, anyways, the stupid robot that flies around and is his assistant.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I've never seen it.
You guys don't know?
I just remember
Who's
Green
Robin
go
Williams?
boop, 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 boop.
Okay,
That's it.
Robin Williams has like this robotic flying hover assistant, and she has like a screen that pops up to like display her emotions and play like movie clips.
Eve?
It's not Eve, but she has like a name. And anyways, like she gets kind of like jealous and like kind of wants to marry him, and like there's this weird like side story.
Okay.
But anyways, I wanted the robot that flew around. I don't know why.
So Flubber was a flop, or was it a good movie?
As a kid, I liked Flubber.
Oh, of course.
Were you romantically interested in
No,
this
I just
robot?
wanted it. It was really
I
cool
need
that
this
it,
robot
that it flew
to
around.
hang out with.
No, I just wanted it because it flew around.
That's cool.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. I told you it was lame.
I'm gonna go rent Flubber.
All right.
I don't know why
Let's
you haven't
all
seen
let's
it.
all rent Flubber.
We should watch
after this.
every Robin Williams movie back to back.
Well, thank you again, guys. As
Yeah.
always, we're always open to your questions, comments, emails, or Instagram. Definitely keep a lookout for more Q&As, and we'll answer them on the show.
And we've actually run out of questions to answer, so please give us some more questions.
That would be great. And continuing with your hashtag Toy Pizza images on Instagram, on Tumblr, all those places, we want to feature more of your work on the show while we're talking in these long-form videos. So any videos and pictures that you've got, we want to help you out and free promotion.
And we may have mentioned Funko Fridays, our awesome partnership with those guys. Are there other companies we should do the same treatment with? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. And if you are that company, let us know.
Actually, we're far too busy if you are that company. It's going to be a very pricey discussion.
We're looking at you, Apple. We would love to review the iPhone 6.
I would love to get free apples. I love fruit.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
It is in season.
Cool.
So I don't think there's anything left to say
Except for pizza out.
Check out our Tumblr, toypizzatumblr.com.
Okay, bye.